Hello, eco-friendly viewers, and welcome to Planet Earth, our loving home. Approximately 80% or more of global warming is caused by factory farming and meat consumption, and is the most serious issue facing our planet. The meat production cycle produces massive amounts of methane and other dangerous greenhouse gases, and thus causes great damage to the environment. Some results of climate change that we are currently seeing include rapidly disappearing plant and animal species, frequent natural disasters such as storms, floods, and wildfires, and serious water shortages. Today's program features Mr. Nikolai Fuchs of Germany, who currently heads Demeter International's office Brussels, and is the leader of the agricultural section at the Gothenburg, Switzerland. Mr. Fuchs recently gave a talk in Formosa or Taiwan entitled Nature Conservation from the Point of View of Climate Change, which was sponsored by the spiritual group Universe, Love, Light. During his visit to Asia, he graciously agreed to speak to Supreme Master Television about global warming and its immensely negative influence on our planet. We will present excerpts from both Mr. Fuchs' lecture and interview, so as to give viewers a broad perspective on his ideas. Mr. Fuchs begins by discussing global warming's huge impact on animals and how humans can help their fellow beings adapt to changing climatic conditions, such as helping them move to new areas where they may continue to thrive.
Through climate change, the environment itself changes too quickly. Already today we have intervened in the ecosystems and have to prepare them to be capable with this climate change. And one measure is to bring species from a region we discovered to be similar what we think our ecosystem will be in the future, and bring species already into our ecosystem so that these species can adopt. Animals already react to the climate change. Some species are going to leave these regions, new ones are to come. And to organize that a bit better so that it's not only taking place by chance, I think it's worthwhile to study ecotypes. So look for species which have a similar task in another ecosystem. For example, we in Europe, we have a specific bird that digs specific seeds of trees into the ground, hoping to remember in the winter when it's cold, and so then it digs it up again, and it forgets about a lot of them, and so it spreads the seed. That is an ecosystem function. And we have to look now what sort of functions we will need in future and which species would be the right ones to serve that. And then we can perhaps help such species to take a new home here, for example. Already the experience is that animals move away from the equatorial regions to the poles of the Earth. And some are more flexible, and other species, they out of some reason can't move so quickly. And so my idea is that we think about corridors where species can, without being harmed or hindered, make this move. For example, in Middle Europe, the old Iron Curtain border between the communistic and capitalistic system, this border was decided to be a green belt in Europe, and it's from the south to the north, and species can travel there.
Mr. Fuchs elaborates on this concept in his lecture, suggesting that besides moving endangered species, humankind may be able to recreate ecosystems in new places by observing the functions of species to determine if they may fit into different environments.
The last 100 and 150 years, the whole period of industrialization already had a strong impact on biodiversity. And during that period, we were well advised to conserve nature in specific regions, because the regional, local and indigenous species, they could best adapt to the pressure of industrialization because they were able to live with the climatical and regional conditions that are there. Now this strategy comes to an end. Well, not completely, but we have to adapt it to the new conditions through climate change. And the reason is the following. The most endangered species on the world are mainly specialists. So the species, they have a very special regional and local conditions, what soil is concerned, climate is concerned, and biodiversity is concerned. In the past we said best humans keep out of nature conservative areas because humans did destabilize the specific conditions the endangered species needed. Today, I think we have no other chance if we want to keep our natural habitat than to interfere into it as humans. And the big question is how to do that. So we have to think more in ecotypes of than in species. Ecosystems over the world are pretty similar in their structure. In every ecosystem there are species with specific functions. So we have to look more on the functions than on the species. And we might even think in ecosystems and even transport or transfer ecosystems to a new region. But that needs lots of knowledge and even wisdom to do that. We can select specific seeds and even work with the seeds and breed them, for example. We need to become experts in knowing the ecosystems by heart.
When we return, Nikolai Fuchs will further discuss ecosystem and biodiversity preservation and how our choices as individuals can mitigate global warming. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television.